Alright everyone, welcome to preview number 2 of For Today. And this series for the West, I am the most anticipated for. The St. Louis Blues will be taking on the Minnesota Wild for the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. This series has some serious potential for entertainment because whenever these teams play, something really interesting and really entertaining happens. And the crazy thing is, these teams are very close to each other division-wise. When you look at their regular season comparison, the Wild are 53, 22, and 7 for a total of 113 points. They have scored 310 goals and have led in 253 to be second in the Central. When you look at the Blues, they are 49, 22, and 11 for a total of 109 points. They have scored 311 goals and only led in 242, and they are third in the Central. So their stats are a little bit different from each other, but they're basically the same. And that's my favorite part about this, because when these two teams face off, it's probably the series of the West. I don't think there's any series in the West that is better than that. When you take a look at each team's top scoring leaders, you see Kaprizov versus Tarasenko. Kaprizov breaking records for the Wild this season, has 47 goals, 61 assists for 108 points. Tarasenko coming off of a year where it was meh. 34 goals, 40 assists for 82 points, so he's looked good, but I'm going to give it over to Kaprizov, hands down. Kaprizov has been great this year. Kevin Fiala, 33 goals, 58 assists for 85 points, compared to Robert Thomas, 20 goals, 57 assists for 77 points. And then you look at round 3, Zuccarello versus Buchnevich, 24 goals, 55 assists, 79 points for Zuccarello. Buchnevich, 30 goals, 46 assists for 76 points. Hartman versus Kyrou, there's a big drop-off in points there for the Wild. 34 goals, 31 assists for 65 points. Jordan Kyrou, 27 goals, 48 assists for 75 points. Going to give that one to Kyrou. Eriksson versus Barbashev, 26 goals, 23 assists for 49 points. And as for Barbashev, 26 goals, 34 assists for 60 points. So they're similar in goals, but I'm going to give it over to Eriksson. I think when you look at offense, the Wild have better firepower, but the Blues have it better down the middle and overall throughout all 4 of their lines. That being said, I'm also going to give it over to the Blues for depth as well. And for defense, I'm not entirely too sure who I would give it to, because I don't like either defensive course for both teams. I think we're going to give it to St. Louis, because St. Louis has Falk, and, there are a lot of other good guys in that Blues defense, too. Now, when you look at the goaltending, you see on the Blues side, Ville Husso has been a pleasant surprise, 25, 7, and 6 for a 2.56 goals against average and a .919 save percentage. You have Bennington as the backup, 18, 14, and 4 with a 3.13 goals against average and a .901 save percentage. So, I'd say the Blues are good for goaltending unless Husso takes a crap in the playoffs. That could be bad then. Because he has not had that much playoff experience, if any at all. So I'm really wondering what he can do. But then again, Bennington did win a cup with no playoff experience, with no NHL experience, basically. So, I mean, yeah. When you look at the other side, you got 2 experienced goaltenders. Marc-Andre Fleury, 9-2-0 with the Wild this season, 2.74 goals against average and a .910 save percentage. You look at Talbot as the backup, 32, 12, and 4 with a 2.76 goals against average and a .911 save percentage. Both of those guys are good, so I'm honestly going to give the goaltending over to Minnesota, although they kind of have worse stats than Ville Husso, but I'm going to give it over to Minnesota because they're more experienced with playoffs, and I think they'll do better. Now it's time for my final verdict. Who wins this series? Honestly, it could go both ways. I feel like it could really go like Wild in 7 or Blues in 7. Like I feel like it could be a very entertaining 7-game series. But to be honest, I gotta go with the Blues. Like, if I'm being honest, like the Blues, I know I've been talking about playoff experience with a lot of my previews this year, so I feel like that's kind of what the Blues edge over the Wild, playoff experience. I think that's really what it's gonna come down to. Because the Wild, I mean, they have some good guys like Hartman, Kaprizov, Fiala. Those guys have minimal to no playoff experience. Like, Kaprizov only has a season under his belt. And as for, like, guys like Hartman, I mean, they played in Chicago and Nashville and Philly for a little bit, but they don't have that much playoff experience. Like, the Wild, they haven't gotten past the first round in a while, if I'm not mistaken. They didn't make it in 2018. They didn't make it in 2020. They didn't make it in 2021. So, it is a wonder. I wish they were kind of facing a different team. Like, if they were facing, let's say, one of the wild card teams, Dallas or Nashville, they could definitely win a round. But against St. Louis, truly, I don't think they can edge it out. If they do edge it out, it's probably going to be in 7 games. It would be a very entertaining 7-game series, but I'm going to go with Blues. Anyways, guys, that'll do it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you all very much for watching. Let me know who you guys think will win this series. Anyways, yeah, we got 2 more previews to go. Edmonton and LA, and then Colorado and Nashville. So we got some more interesting previews to come. But anyways, thank you for watching. For Sportsly, I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.